Hello guys, Deuteran/Lawrence Wayne here, and I have some great news for you guys. LOS is back. Kind of. It's under a new name, PIX-OS, and it's now being funded by Raymond Sheppers. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. So yeah, basically the reason I stopped LOS development was because I stopped getting money to be able to buy this stuff, because unlike Minecraft, where placing down blocks in creative mode is completely free, doesn't cost you any money, in real life it does. Even like a simple wire, you need to pay for it. So yeah, that obviously slowed me down a bit, but he is now actually funding the whole thing, which is really great, and he actually has a copy of the system as well, so now there's going to be two people with LOS. The new version uses an Arduino Duo with a Duino GPU, and when I say GPU I mean actual GPU this time, not that version of LOS that had a 40 Systems Picasso, I think it was, which wasn't really a GPU, it was sort of just a microcontroller that did GPU commands. But anyway, right now there's not much, because I sort of just wanted to show you guys that I am working on LOS, or PIX-OS as it's now called. So yes, we have got a calibration system going right now. Don't have much. And then once the screen is calibrated, you have this little paint program thingy where you can draw whatever. Now, the original Duino library worked by saving this calibration data to EEPROM, but unfortunately the Duo does not have EEPROMs, so whenever you reset it, it forgets everything and you have to calibrate it again. Fortunately, we do have these little things called SD cards. So I made it so that it stores the calibration data on the SD card. So if you reset it now, it's going to tell us to calibrate again. And once we do so, you can see it works now. If we reset it, it's not going to ask for the calibration data, and it's just going to work. So, yeah, without the SD card, again, it's going to ask us for a calibration, and if you just tap anywhere, then your calibration is going to be completely off, or it's just not going to work at all, in this case. And I also have this SD card which has purposefully incorrect touch calibration data. So it's not going to ask me for any calibration, but as you can see it's completely off because the calibration data on this SD card is completely off. So yeah, that's pretty much all there was to demonstrate, because I haven't gotten anything else working yet. Well, there is some other stuff this thing can do. This thing is double buffered, 60 frames per second. It's got a coprocessor built in. It's got all these really neat features. It's got touchscreen tracking. It's got like GUI components, so I don't need to design them because I'm terrible at it. But yeah, Raymond's also going to be doing graphical design for me for once, because as you may have noticed in my previous LOS versions, their GUI design was not so good, because I'm not good with graphics. So yeah, this thing can do those. It's got like particle effects, sprites, you've got anti-aliasing, all these really cool features that you have on a real GPU as well, and that are simply not possible on just the microcontroller. Or it is, but it would be ridiculously slow. And it also can process things while the CPU is doing something else. So for example, this is actually being run entirely by the coprocessor. The CPU is actually asleep right now, it's not doing anything. The coprocessor is completely in charge of this little drawing program. And this also means that you can have like a little spinny circle loading animation on the screen, which the coprocessor would handle, and the CPU wouldn't have to stop what it was doing every time and tell the GPU to update the little loading screen, it can just do its own thing, which is really nice, and it's got so many cool features that I can't bother mentioning in this video because it would take way too long. But that's pretty cool. So yeah, we've got an SD card slot in here, we've got an audio connector over here. The audio, this thing's got a sound processor built in, but it's not that great. You can play like one MIDI note at a time, so that's kind of sucky, but it can kind of stream audio from the processor, which you can then get from the SD card if you do some complicated software stuff. So yeah, I sort of half-ported the GameDuino library to the Duo. Not a very easy task, but it works now, kind of. I'm still having a lot of trouble getting it all to work because of some weird timing issues, but it does work, mostly. So yeah, I got some big plans for the compiler program and stuff for this as well. And I'm kind of just blabbering on without showing you anything, sorry, because I kind of rushed this video because everyone wanted to see what was up with LOS, so I kind of wanted to make this as soon as I got something that I could actually demonstrate. Because I got this like for quite a while now, but I've only gotten it working pretty recently, so I could have just shown you this, and it would have just been a screen and an Arduino Duo, and it would have done absolutely nothing. So at least it does something that I can show you guys, because that would have been boring and you wouldn't have believed me that I got it working or something. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and bye.